Time out. You said something very importantly. What the other choice, other than Obama, is Ron Paul? Are you still funnelating? Because I'm not sure I'm not.
That's what kind of drink is that?
A funnelator?
No, what is a Ron Paul drink?
I wouldn't funnel Ron Paul if that's what you're asking.
You know what it is? It's Jägermeister. That's what it is.
Crazy, whatever it is.
It's a shot of Jägermeister.
All right, well, let's listen. Speaking of Ron Paul, the guy that all of a sudden everyone seems to be paying attention to and taking shots at, let's take a listen to this.
I think Ron Paul's views are totally outside the mainstream of virtually every decent American.
That Ron Paul would make a very dangerous president because of his foreign policy.
One of the people running for president thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't.
A second term with Barack Obama, I'm not too sure will look that different than a Ron Paul administration when it comes to national security.
That was a whole lot of Ron Paul thumbs down, or right? What's going on?
Okay, here's what's going on. Ron Paul has some great ideas regarding the Fed and fiscal policy. That's fantastic. But his other stuff is so blatant, so big and so blatant, it really sinks his chance to become a president, and certainly, and maybe even a Republican nominee. This whole controversy with Ron Paul hiring Michelle Bachmann's campaign manager is huge. It's getting bigger. Campaign manager says he never told Michelle Bachmann that he was offered money from Ron Paul. If he was offered money from the Ron Paul camp, which they deny, boy, that's going to be some big controversy.
Yeah, that's bad protocol in politics. That is really, really bad. I will also say the controversy around these newsletters, these racist newsletters, these anti-homophobic newsletters, we haven't covered them a lot here on The Five, but I have to say they're despicable. And a lot of people in the GOP are really turned off by it. And I think that's a big problem for him, too. It's not just foreign policy. The things that he says, stay in the closet to gay people, I mean, it really is disgusting and ridiculous, I think.
You know what, to use another food or beverage metaphor.
Somebody's hungry.
Ron Paul, it's true, I'm starving.
And thirsty.
There was pizza in the green room. I can't eat it, I'm on Atkins. Then you have cake, because it's your birthday
Andrew's
tomorrow,
birthday
and I can't eat the cake either. This is all a war against my stomach. All right, Ron Paul has...
Okay, angry, hungry person.
Here's the thing about Ron Paul. He's like that ribbon candy, you know, on the dish in your grandmother's house. It's just been around forever. Then finally you taste it and you go, that's Ron Paul. Ron Paul has been around forever. Like you said, he's got some good things, but then there's some bad things that leave a bad taste in your mouth.
I think one of the things that leaves a bad taste, at least in many Republicans' mouths, is that he's not really a Republican, guys. He's a civil libertarian. This is clearly a protest vote. This is sort of like, okay, we don't have Gingrich, we don't have Kaine, we don't have Perry. Who do we have left? Oh, anyone but Romney.
Well, there's also
Santorum.
I was just going to say, Andrew, what about the Santorum
Read your
surprise?
mind,
Reading minds telepathically.
Rick Santorum is surging in a new Rasmussen poll. He's third, and in the beginning of December, he was in sixth place at 5%. Now he's at 16%.
In Iowa.
But in Iowa, right? Which is good for him. I mean, he's been to all counties in Iowa. He moved his family there.
He worked very hard.
Very hard. He's a social conservative that, look, Leslie brought it up. The conservatives have been searching. They've been on dates with all these candidates. They're not thrilled. So someone like Rick Santorum, though it is unlikely, there is a chance for him to place in Iowa and possibly come out, maybe not in New Hampshire, but in the South, he could do very, very well.
New Hampshire.
Go ahead. If this pops him into the third place position, which is he's sort of predicting, he's saying that's going to be a big victory for him.
I think that people are starting to move on from, I guess, the way the campaign has been so far is like a giant game of whack-a-mole. Somebody comes up, you pound him, and then somebody comes up, you pound him. It's now, we've got to move away from that, and I don't think, we can say, oh, yeah, it's great, Santorum, he went there, he brought his family there, but the fact is, we're going to start moving towards a game like Candyland, where we're going to be moving around and getting towards the finish line instead of beating up on each other.
Well, Eric, what do you think?
I love
So
Candyland.
if Santorum comes in third place, what does this mean to someone like Michelle Bachmann, who's taken a few hits as of recent?
That is a great question. By the way, Newt Gingrich, I think he released his numbers today. He raised $9 million in a quarter. That's a big number.
Big number.
It'd be very interesting to find out how much the other one. So for Michelle Bachmann, you specifically asked about her. If she raised a lot of money, which I don't think she did, I haven't heard that she was going to, but if she did, she can stay in longer. I asked her point blank, "Are you going to stay?" And she said, "I'm going to win. It won't matter." But they'll all tell you that. So Rick Santorum, 16% in Iowa. Listen, I love the conservatives. I'm thrilled they are. But again, Santorum, Bachmann, and Perry splitting the conservative vote.
But conservative issues, the social issues are what matter. I mean, the number one issue is not unemployment in Iowa.
Right.
They actually have a pretty decent employment market, so it's these social issues.
Sure.
Immigration also drives it in Iowa. So, but these polls, we should just be clear, too. The polls are so tough in Iowa to tell because of the complicated nature of the caucus structure.
And it's a holiday week.
These polls are very tough, and there's a chunk of undecideds that we've talked about all week on this show that are
They're all going to be coming out, and let's see if there's some good weather. But I want to listen to this. Take a listen to Charles Krauthammer and what he had to say. A little bit of criticism
Charles.
for the GOP.
Charles.
I think with some of the sort of embarrassing candidates like Kane and others along the way, it has made the president, who is, by who he is, presidential, look better. And I think that explains the reason his numbers are up.
Yes, Greg. it
What
appears
he's
you like-
saying is that after this bizarre game of The Bachelor, people are starting to look for Mr. Right, and people are starting to get serious, and that's why Mitt Romney seems to be the guy that everybody is going toward. That's what I think. Krauthammer's always right too.
He's also Dana's boyfriend.
Yeah.
She hearts him. She's
Yes.
married, but she secretly hearts Charles.
Yes.
He's dreamy and smart, so we love him, and he's a smart guy. He knows what he's
Well, I
talking
don't think
about.
he's dreamy.
Oh,
I'll give him
okay.
smart, but-
What's wrong with you, Eric?
Gosh.
Smart guys
My
are
type.
dreamy.
I'm not buying into dreamy.
You know
Greg.
what's dreamy? Greg, you know
Oh,
what's
definitely dreamy.
Greg and I on a table with three beautiful, smart women.
You guys are
And
smart, just like
brunette.
Krauthammer, and you're dreamy
Exactly.
too.
I'm more
Intelligence
nightmare-y.
is dreamy.
It's a brunette caucus over at the Fox News channel. Oh, yeah? You like it? Oh, yeah, stay with us. Okay, we got more.
I like this.
Coming up, Karl Rove thinks it may be the end of the road for Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi. Bye-bye. Well, his 2012 predictions, those are next. Also, shoot us an email complimenting all the brunettes on this show. Tell us what you think at the 5 at foxnews.com. Stay with us.
Come on and sing it with me, car wash. Sing it with the feeling now. Car wash, yeah.